Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
We're back.
Oh, don't you know? Yeah, we're back. Oh, my God. And can I just start by saying, boss and CEO today, you own 51% of this corporation, and you're not to be fucked with, and that is very clear. Look at this pantsuit situation, mama. Wow.
I'm just saying.
You walked in, and I got a little like, am I in trouble here? Like, am I going to be called into the office and fired immediately?
Or were you like, I want to spend my money with you?
It was more that.
The second or the first?
The second.
The second. Okay, good, good.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like I've said, there's days where I wake up and like, I got to blaze it up.
Yeah.
If I'm wearing a blazer, that means everyone at the salon laughs and I walk in a blazer like, uh-oh.
They start running.
They're just like
it's the opening scene of Devil Wears Prada. They're running,
for sure.
tripping over themselves.
No, they're just
could
like,
see it.
She's blazed up today. That means business.
They're like, uh-oh.
I know. I mean, and it's podcast days. So I feel like we've been together the whole morning. And
yeah. And we kind of like match. There's a through line. There's a green theme. I don't know.
Yep. I know. It's a thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, can I tell you one thing?
Yes.
You ready for this?
Oh my gosh. Maybe not.
Somebody told me, so we went to the Serge Jane fashion show.
Yeah.
Which was last week. It was so fun.
That was fun.
And everyone was going gaga over you. About
me?
How cute. Because you're so cute.
Oh.
But you are. But anyway, who was, somebody had said to me, like, Drew has had a glow up. Like, you can tell he's shopping with you. I'm like,
wow.
I'm just saying, you've always been adorable, but your stock is rising.
My goodness.
It's fast. But I'm at least 1 to 2 people had mentioned, like, what is going on here? I know.
You know what?
And now you have a side part today, which I didn't expect.
Yep.
But we're here.
The side part comes out when my hair's getting a little long. We gotta just
you got to do it.
Yeah.
Well, our last podcast, we talked about the state fair.
Yes.
And how we are not fans.
I got a little bit of slack for that.
We got some heat.
Yeah. I'm not, and I want to reiterate, I'm not against it. I just am not a fanatic.
Okay. Did you go?
No. I thought about it.
You know.
I really did. Actually, I wanted to. I intended to. I just ran out of time.
Okay.
Did you go?
You know I went. You know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Okay.
Right, so we had talked about this, and we did get some heat on the gram. Like when people being like, what? You
What's
hate
wrong
the
with
state
you?
fair.
Yeah,
like,
you guys aren't
we didn't
American.
Say hate.
No, that's what I'm saying. I just said that we didn't grow up here, so we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, that's all. That's all it is.
But then the harassment
Yeah.
led me to go to the state fair.
Yeah.
So I went with my friends Erin and Andrew, our friends, and they are
love them.
The best.
Yep.
They're super into the state fair. It was their 3rd time.
Yeah.
I went with Charlie, my husband, and my son Griffin, who was 17, on the last day. It was on Labor Day.
Okay, was it packed?
We went there early.
Okay.
And that's the way to do it.
Yep.
So they basically gave me the handbook of like what time to get there, what time.
Aaron and Andrew did.
Aaron and Andrew
because they know what they're doing.
They know.
Got it.
They know. They're professionals.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, let's give this a whirl because again, everyone's like, you haven't done this right, and I would say that is correct because I only went there when I had little kids, which is a nightmare.
Just a little kids, no plan. No. Okay.
We had no idea. We didn't know what was happening.
Exactly. Well, no wonder it wasn't your favorite thing in the whole world.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Yep.
And I will say, so this time I just did what they told me to do.
Okay.
Right. So we went to I guess there's a bunch of beer gardens.
Yep.
Which I didn't know. I just thought it was cookies.
No,
and
there's so much.
Well, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So now I know. But I went to the beer gardens. There was an amazing band playing. We watched some people dancing out there, which was lovely. And we walked around, did that, and they told us how to order the food because we'd always just get a couple of each. They're like, no, you get one and you share it. Didn't know that.
Got it.
So I was a definite rookie. But I'll tell you what I did see at the state fair.
Oh boy, what?
I had to use the restroom.
Okay.
Which is always like, oh, here
Sure.
we go. The last day of the state fair, people are getting it in.
Okay.
I'll tell you that right now.
Okay.
Walked into that bathroom.
Yep.
It was like everyone was in labor.
Oh.
There was a lot happening in that bathroom. I
Okay.
mean, the toes were curled
Oh.
and things were,
Yeah.
they were really maximizing what they could get in.
It all caught up.
And then
Yeah.
to get back.
Okay.
And
I think I'm
I
picking up
think
where
you
you're
get
putting down.
it.
Yep.
But I was just like, and I didn't even say anything to Charlie. I was just
Yep.
like, that was weird. And like last day, they're getting it all in. And then Charlie goes to the bathroom later. He goes, I don't know what happens on the last day of the state fair. He's like, he feels the same way about the state fair.
Yeah.
As I do. And he's just like, there are things happening in that restroom that we might need to call someone in for. But when you see what everyone's
someone
eating in there,
Right. Well, I mean, it makes sense.
it
Come
does make
on.
sense. But it was just like, I mean, it just
Yeah.
hit me.
Yep.
So that's what I know happens
Yeah.
at,
That's.
at the state. I didn't realize
last
that
day
either.
energy.
That's last day energy.
I see.
And then at that point, then they're giving things away, right? So they're like, okay, there's all the
go
Sweet
home with all
Martha's
this.
cookies or the
Yeah.
corn, everything. Okay, and the corn is my favorite. And then we have to get off the state fair
Okay.
thing. But I'm just telling you, I did
Well,
it.
you know what? Good for you.
Thank you.
You went. You had fun. It
conquered.
sounds like.
I had the most fun I've ever had at the fair. Now,
There
the
you
bar
go.
was low.
Well, okay,
I'll be
right.
honest with
Right.
that.
Yep.
But I did it, and I will go back again.
Okay. Next year, I'm gonna go too. We're all gonna go. We're gonna go with, and then the Brookses. They said they would go with
Yep.
us.
We need people to help us.
I know that's the thing.
Okay, so next year, maybe that's part of like we do a segment on us at the state fair.
Ooh, maybe we do one from there.
I think you have to get like a license for that. I don't think you
okay.
can just set
You
up a
can't just-
podcast in the
got it.
middle of it. But I don't know.
All right.
I think we should try that. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that was my state fair experience.
Okay. Well, great.
I know.
Not bad.
But we've done fashion shows.
Yes, that was so fun. The
Yes.
fashion show was so fun.
What was your favorite
Serge
part?
Jane. Honestly, I liked that, because first of all, I liked that there was a diversity in the models.
Yep.
So you had models of different ages. You had female models, male models, white models, black models. You had everything.
Yep.
And just so there was a lot of diversity in the looks that they were bringing out. So, I mean, I love Serge Jane.
Same.
I go in
Huge
there a lot,
fan.
but I kind of like stay in a certain lane there. I
Yeah.
love like going through all their t-shirts and, their polos and stuff like that. That's
Right.
like that's in my like comfort zone for what to wear. But they were bringing out lots of stuff that was like, oh, I would have thought of that. I never would have thought about like putting that jacket with that sweater. And they have a depth of, I don't know, just looks and styles, and it was colorful. It was just, I don't know, I just liked it. It was great. It was a beautiful day. It was like the most
Gorgeous.
perfect weather.
Yes.
The models were all fierce. Their hair all looked incredible because Paul from Sloane's did all the hair.
And Allie.
And Allie.
Yep, so
Paul and
Allie.
Allie did all the hair. Looked so good.
So good.
I thought that the MC Grant did a great job. I had never seen him like put on a show. He's a great host, and everybody was cool. There was a little after party on the rooftop.
Yeah.
It was just like
that space
fun.
is so cool.
It
I
was
think that
super
people
fun.
don't realize that there's so many different levels
Yeah.
to the space, and that there's like, I mean, Casey and Jamie really have
Yeah.
dialed that in. Like
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
It was fun. It was really good.
It was fun.
Thanks for inviting me to that.
You're welcome. And also, I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of your glow up has to do with Serge and Jane too.
I think so too.
I'm just saying,
yeah.
because I feel like that's kind of one of your spots now.
Yeah.
which
it is.
which I love.
It definitely is one of my spots.
I know. Like I always
it's
see when
local. It's a
Yes.
local business that you can support. It's close. It's in the neighborhood. It's right down
Yeah.
the street. It's great.
he looked great.
What's not to love? Thank you.
Yeah, it's fashion
so much.
season,
It's
so
fashion
it's
season.
all the fashion stuff is happening.
Yeah.
but it's also real estate. Usually not this busy at this time of year. It's starting to really take
This
a
has
turn.
been such a strange year
And
because
100%.
so many things are at play. The interest rates have been stubbornly high, which we all know, which really caused a major slowdown, which was the point of raising. I mean, the
Right.
reason the Fed raises rates is to make us all chill for a second,
Yep.
because the economy is so high and inflation is so high, and housing really contributes to the inflation numbers. When the prices of houses go up, that affects the inflation numbers. So they're trying to tamp everybody down, which they did. But the first part of the year was so busy. Usually January, February, it's like so slow because it's the middle of winter and just people are kind of still on the holidays. if you remember back, not to get into the weather too much, but it was a very, very mild winter. There was no snow. It was warm. It was almost spring-like. So people were like wanting to see houses, and it was just so busy January and February. We're like, well, this is going to be like the most incredible year ever. Then like May hit and everything went like screeching halt. Which you can't predict these trends. You can't predict like the ebbs and flows of things. And it was just so quiet. The interest rates were just like not coming down. They were just stubbornly high. Now they started to come down again, and now the phone is ringing again, and people are more interested again, which is great because we love to be busy. And it's like you said, it's happening kind of in this like fall time. It almost seems like because the summer was so like dead, that the demand was kind of pent up, and now that the rates are coming down, even though it's the fall, people are like, I think it's time to go look, which it is a great time to look. Well, like we always say, I highly recommend buying a house in the fall because it's kind of like the end of the season.
I know. We both do that. We both do that. Buying houses in the fall.
Yeah. And so now things are starting to pick up again, which is great. And we're working with some really fun clients right now, which I love.
I know it's always fun to get like when we start getting the repeats of the
gosh.
same people. Like and right now we've got quite a few repeat people, and also like people that we are like loved. Some of our these clients they're fun.
Yes.
So it's always fun when you love the work and also just like love who you're working with.
Yeah. We got a couple of referrals in there that came from other Compass agents in other markets. We've got someone from the gym, from Skybox. I love working with people from Skybox. We've helped a lot of people from Skybox, and that is always super fun because these are just like people that I've come to know. And I mean, I love everybody at Skybox. It's such a community. And then to be able to like help them do this big thing and buy or sell a house is just, I don't know, warms my heart. Really does. It does.
I mean,
I legit like almost like started crying one time when it was at the very end. Like the house was done. It was like closing, and they were just like,
"Who is it?" Whisper to me like this. Lindsay.
Oh, it was Lindsay in bed.
Lindsay in bed.
Yeah. But just like, it was like,
It
I couldn't
really
have done
was.
this without you guys, and I'm just like, oh.
I know. It's pretty special. Like it's going through. There's just so much in the works on the back end.
Yeah.
And it's just so. I think that's the thing of like seeing things come to a close, and I really do think it's important that people know it's the whole thing of like it's the relationship with our lenders or the people, like all of that. There's so many things that have to come together, and
inspectors that we know.
Exactly.
It's,
I mean, the stagers,
it's a huge team effort.
It is. All of the people that we have on hand for all of like any handyman works or handy woman works.
Or handy woman or handy person.
Or handy person.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that better.
Yeah.
Handy person.
Love a good
works.
handy person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun to see it all come together.
It is fun to see it come together, and we've got a new listing coming on in Maple Grove this weekend. I'm excited about that. The Fed is going to meet, I think, the 17th or the 18th of September. So coming up, and there's grumblings of this could be a 50 basis point reduction in interest rates, so 0.5%. Some are saying it could be 0.25%. Some are saying it could be 0.5%. So that's something to keep an eye on, because this is something that the Fed has told us at the very beginning of the year they were going to do, have yet to do it.
Right.
But some economists are saying they could drop it 0.75% before the end of the year, which that's really gonna get things going again.
I know. I love it. I just love houses. I love design. I love all of it's just a love fest.
I know.
Love it.
So I don't know. I'm saying call us now. Now is the time if you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Even if you're thinking about it for next spring, now is the time to get organized. Have us over, have us take a look at things, have us start thinking about because you want to be if next spring really takes off, you want to be ahead of the game, not catching up to everything that's going on.
And we're doing that whole thing on our social media.
Yes.
Yes.
The contest.
The contest, yeah. So
how does it work? Tell me how that works.
I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world.
Couldn't be easier.
No, you DM us and give us your address. We do a free CMA for you, just a comparative market analysis, let you know what your house is worth.
Yep.
And you should know that anyway, regardless if you're willing to, if you're going to be staying there for years or going to be selling tomorrow. But I mean, everyone should know. I think a lot of times they either they get it and they're like, oh my gosh, or they get it and be like, oh, okay, what do we need to do to bring that? So then we can come in and tell you what you need to do to get the most value for your home.
Absolutely.
And tell you what projects to work on that are going to, have
you should
an
always
ROI.
know that. I mean, I'm one of those people who checks my, IRA balance, even though it's like, I'm not going to do anything with that right now.
Yeah.
That's for retirement, but I still want to know where it's at or what most people say don't check that. Don't look at that.
Hey,
Just
listen,
wait until, but I'm I'm curious.
You
I
need
want
to
to
know. Just like,
this is the same thing.
For instance,
Yeah.
I check my Uber rating at least every few weeks.
What is your Uber rating?
It's 4.99.
Oh, that's really good.
Thank you.
Mine is, I don't think mine's that high.
Why?
Well, I don't know.
Tell me about this.
I don't know.
I think you do know.
Nope. I think, maybe sometimes I order an Uber after too many vodka sodas have been had. It could be, maybe they don't appreciate my singing on the way home. Maybe I would never. I do not.
He doesn't vomit.
I don't do that.
He tries to expel those demons and it just doesn't work. He can't.
Honestly, I've maybe done that once or twice in my whole life, when I was in college. I'm not one of those.
No, you are not. There is nothing sloppy about your drinking, which is why we're best friends.
Right. I get lovey.
Now me on the other hand, fun.
Yeah, fun for the most part.
Okay, thanks.
And for the most part, lovey and singy and and honestly,
and then I get tie.
You do a good job of just sort of wandering off, and then it's okay, she left, which was probably
a good idea.
Probably the right time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. Well, sometimes it's just time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's time to go home.
Yep.
And then in the morning,
it's important to know that.
Yeah, I know. When we go out and have a wild night, everyone's like, "Oh, I was up till 2 or 3." I'm like, I've had 12 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I'm I'm home.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing. It's a thing.
Speaking of which, we had a dance party at Brian's on Saturday night.
Thanks for the invite.
Well,
I was gone. Just kidding.
It was an impromptu. First of all, there's no way you were awake at midnight.
I was. I was in DC at that wedding, and I was
that's
awake.
Right. That's right.
Yep.
Okay, so you weren't even home. Otherwise, we would have invited you. Actually, we called you, and you were in DC. So you couldn't come.
Full of shit. First of all, that was the worst. Oh yeah, we tried. No, you did not. But yeah, you had a dance party.
Uh-huh.
Did you drop it?
Oh yeah, Brian was dancing on top of his couch, on top of his furniture.
Brian.
Playing music videos, full blast.
Music videos?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, what kind of music videos?
All kinds of stuff. There was Beyonce. There was Destiny's Child. There was.
Okay. Was Heather there?
No, that's the thing. She's out of town for a couple weeks, so he's got to get all of his dance party.
Yeah.
Because love Heather to pieces. She's not having a dance party. She's not.
And
you can come
guess
over.
What, Heather?
You need to leave at a reasonable hour.
I get it.
Yeah, I do too.
You guys like to stay up late. You boys like to get after
it's good, clean fun, a dance party. And we've had many
100%
of them in your kitchen.
I'm just 100%.
And
yes.
In 2 weeks, Denise is coming. We're doing it again.
I know. I think it's next week. Oh, a week from this weekend.
It's a week from this weekend,
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but...
Okay.
As we're kind of closing out here, I feel like there's just been a lot of fun stuff happening.
I know.
But I need to tell you what happened at my salon the other day.
Okay. Which one, first of all?
At 50th.
Okay.
Okay.
Setting the stage. Okay.
Pull up into 50th.
Yep.
Lindsay, you're going to love this. Pull up into 50th, hanging out, doing whatever. We have our own lot there, our own parking lot. We have signs everywhere that say no parking because then everyone goes to Red County. We need all the parking we can get for all of our guests. Yeah. So we pay for it. It's ours. Whatever.
It's yours.
So
bottom line.
Whenever people park in there, Craig, my manager, usually runs out and is like, "Hey, move your car," whatever. Craig was doing something. I don't know what happened, but I pulled into the parking lot and I see this guy get out of his car thinking he's coming into the salon.
Yep.
So, spoiler alert, he was not.
Okay.
So then I see, which it happens, whatever. But then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give him a quick yell, tell him to move his car, because we see him looking around, and then he walks toward Dexter, the new restaurant, right? So he starts walking that way, and I'm like,
"Excuse me."
So I yelled.
Yeah. Oh, you yelled.
Well, I just not
like
yelled.
hey.
I was just like, hey,
right.
like hey, like just like he's probably like mid-20s.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So I yell. There's no way he didn't hear me. There were no earbuds in, no
Yeah.
nothing. There was no way he didn't hear me.
Yep.
And so that now I'm like my kids ignore me.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Don't
not
do
a
that.
lot of triggers, but that is one of them.
Try ignoring you.
Try it.
Try ignoring you when
Try
you're wearing
me.
like a pant.
I wasn't wearing a pantsuit that
Well,
day. Maybe that was the problem.
That might have been the problem.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so you
anyway.
yell.
So I yell. He keeps walking. I yell again. He keeps walking.
Uh-oh.
Yell again. And just like, hey. At this point now I'm like livid.
This guy's going to get it.
Well, anyway. So I see him walking towards Dexter still. And then I'm just like, okay. So I get in my car. I went full beef
Okay. You chased him
on
down.
him. Yep.
You
If
ran
you
him
haven't seen
down.
that show, you've seen
I've
Beef,
seen
right?
Beef.
The show. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what came over me.
You became Ali Wong.
I became Ali Wong.
Yep.
I wonged him. I mean, I beefed him. I started following him in my car.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see him like kind of looking and like, kind of like,
Yeah.
what
Well, so of course.
then he starts to kind of dodge.
lady.
And then I did a quick whip around back the other end on the other side of Dexter's. He was walking real fast in there.
So
Whatever.
you met him in the alley?
Met him in the alley.
Oh, my.
And I said, hey, again, whenever he turns around and I'm like, I know you heard me.
Yep. First of all,
I own the salon right there,
period, point blank.
very point blank.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you got to move your car. And he's like, well, there were no signs there. I'm like,
Ooh.
okay, don't play.
That's gaslighting.
There were gaslighting for sure. Just
'Cause
anyway,
yes, there were.
I'm like, there are signs everywhere.
Yeah.
You saw the signs. Like, I didn't see the signs. And I'm like, listen, I need you to move your car. You got 15 minutes. If it's not moved, I'm towing it.
Yep.
And he's like, so I was going to sit there and wait. And then I was like, okay, that's too much.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Chill, mama.
I'm already have tracked him down,
Yeah.
screaming. I wasn't, I was just being very strong with my words. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm sick of people doing that. And then there are
Listen,
clients from a
don't
place
take
to park.
advantage. Yeah, come
And you
on.
heard me.
Right.
You heard me. That's it. Hashtag
it.
you heard me.
That's it.
So, and then he's like, are you being serious? I'm like, oh, I couldn't be more serious.
Oh.
I need you to, he's like, okay. And kind of looked at me, whatever. So this is where we're almost done here.
Okay.
Then I go back to the salon.
Yep.
I see him walking over. I see him go to his car. And before he goes to his car, I see him go to the front. There's a sign directly in front of his car. And I see him.
Oh. What sign?
And just
Never saw
turning
a
it,
sign.
like pulling whatever. And I'm like, we're all inside the salon now. Everyone knows what's happening, right? And we're just like, oh my God, he's ripping the sign out of the whole, I'm just
I know
like,
you lying.
no, I was not. And they're like,
First
I'm
of
like,
all, you know where he works. You know what he looks like.
what's going on here? So, and then I just kind of stayed inside. I'm like, okay, clearly this guy is he's going beef now too.
Right.
Now we got a
You think
double
you can
beef.
beef.
We got a double patty.
Double beef sitch.
Yeah. So so then he's ripping the sign out. I'm just like, oh my God. So we're all just watching this. I'm like, this is crazy. So I let him do this and he sets the sign down.
Okay.
Takes off.
Moves his car?
Gets in his car. Sorry, gets in his car. Is going very slow and looking around and kind of looking concerned. I'm like, what is
this
going
guy?
on here? He rips the sign out and leaves. He leaves and I'm like, oh my God, now he's messed up my private property. Now it's, I mean, I didn't want to, I felt like it was a little Karen-y at the moment just because, but it really wasn't. It was like, you're in my lot and I'm paying for this. Anyway, did that. He leaves. He reparks his car. And then I'm about to leave. I get in my car and I see him walking around and looking for me. I'm like, oh God. What's he going to do?
Chapter 2. Here we go.
Chapter 2. This
Yeah.
is like, what's he going to do? Comes up to my car. I love that Lindsay's just like, comes up to I see him walking. I'm like, okay, is something really bad going to happen now?
Yeah,
Whatever. And he's also like a cute kid.
Yeah.
He's like 25, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not like he was
Yeah.
made me scared or anything. He was whatever. So then he comes up. He's like, hey, I roll on my window. I'm like, hey. And he goes, I wanted to walk back over because I moved my car. I didn't realize that there was no park. I didn't see the signs.
Yeah.
I didn't. And he's like, I just moved here like a couple months ago from Denver.
Yeah.
I drive my moped to work every day here.
Yeah.
I just got a job here at Dexter. He's like, and he's just like, so this is the first time I parked. I just pulled in and parked.
Yeah.
And he's like,
not from here.
yeah. He's like, I'm not from here, whatever. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, but what about the sign. He goes, well, that's why I came back over. The sign, when I went back up there, I looked, I'm like, oh yeah, there are signs here. Whoopsie. He's like, and it was bent over like this. So then I went to pull it up and just to kind of like pull it back up, whatever.
He was trying to like write the sign.
Yes. He's like, and then the whole thing ripped out.
Oh.
And then he's like, then I'm trying to put it back in.
Oh.
And then I look in there and there's people looking out the way. Like, he's like, everything. He's like, there's blood on my hands. I don't know what's going Not really blood on their hands. Just, just saying that as a, but then it's just like, it was bizarre. So he's like, so I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry. I'm like, okay, I totally believe him. The sign was bent and he's just like, I just had no idea. And I'm like, he's like, you thought that I ripped the sign? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
100%.
We all did.
And he's like, it was the whole salon was involved in this.
Yeah.
So I had to come back and I was like, everybody, this is what, and everyone was like, what? Like
it was a
dying
mistake.
Laughing.
Oh boy.
Fast forward.
Yep.
You knew where I told you parts of the story here. And then, so you knew some of this, but not the whole thing. But it's like, then you went into Dexter.
Yeah.
And you confronted him. But really funny.
Don't steal. First of all, don't mess with Erin.
It's like, you're the sign stealer.
And
he's like, oh my God, I just moved here. I don't know anyone. And now people think I'm stealing signs all over the neighborhood. And so we'll put a picture. I saw Alec. So it turns, now Alec and I are like,
you guys
very
are buddies.
Close. We're very close.
You know what?
And
so cute.
I've got a photo we'll put on there. I told him, I said, I'm going to say this in the podcast. He's like, oh, please, will you? He's like, okay, this is great. This will make my name, clear my name.
It's going to clear his name.
I know. He's like, but Alex.
Alec.
This one's, oh yeah, Alec. Sorry, this one's for you, buddy.
Is he, are you going to get him a free haircut?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, I think I'm going to get my hair cut there. I'm like, it's the least you can do.
Yeah, right.
And he's just like, you're right. I can't get my hair cut anywhere else. I'm going to have to.
You're going to have to.
I know. So that was.
Oh my gosh.
The drama of what happened with the sign stealer. And people were very heated in this.
Yeah. I just love that you chased him down and.
I don't know what happened. Have you ever done that? Or all of a sudden something, like road rage or anything?
No. Because I'm like, someone's going to do something crazy and I don't. No, I just let it. I'm more of like let's just let it slide. It's not that big of a deal,
I normally would, but this one.
I mean, this is a different situation. If somebody was parked in my garage, probably not going to let it slide. Depending on who it is, I suppose.
Like, what does he look like?
Yeah, exactly.
They're like,
we'll see.
We'll see.
You can stay.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, come on in.
Actually, you can stay.
Yes, sir. It depends on who's parking in there. For
right.
Sure. I know.
Yeah.
Well, for this week, we got Denise coming. We've got.
Yes.
I feel like we've decided to stay with our podcast. Now we were talking about maybe.
Yep. Nope. We're sticking it out.
We're sticking it out, man.
Yeah.
Because we love it.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun, lately, to have all this fun stuff happening. And it's I feel like our worlds are starting to calm down a little bit.
It's like summer was kind of chill and quiet. I just feel like now things are popping a little more in general, just across the board.
Yes. We're selling real estate.
Yep.
I'm working out with you now.
Yep. Exactly. We're chasing down poor barbacks.
Poor barbacks.
Just chasing them down in the employee entrance.
We will put his picture up. He will love it. He's like, I took a picture last night and sent it to Drew. I'm like, oh my God, Lindsay. He was just like, I am dead. I'm like, this is just my new best friend.
Oh my gosh.
I might offer him a job.
You should.
He might get rid of Ryan and bring in Alex. I'm just kidding.
This random, yep.
We're going to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. But we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up here too. And a lot of fun shenanigans in the works and trips and all that stuff too. So
yeah. Brian's making dinner for us tonight.
Ooh.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Again, wasn't invited to that either.
Yeah.
But you said on the block.
You're in a different neighborhood.
Okay, it's fair. But I do love his cooking, so.
I know, so good. He'll have leftovers, don't worry.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I do love soup season when he hits the soups hard.
I know.
And then drops them off at people's houses.
I know.
I've had a couple different
Yep.
ones, and they were to die for.
I know, so
But the
good.
best part is he brings the bread with it.
I know.
He brings all the.
Everything. All the accoutrement.
All the accoutrement. Mm-hmm. Yep. Which is pretty special. And it's warm when it gets dropped off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Lindsay's having her baby here soon, too.
Right. Yeah.
Right now. Oh, no. Don't do it now. Let's finish the podcast.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap this up. On that note, let's wrap it up.
All right. Okay. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.